Back again. One more time.
The week has certainly gone by so swiftly. It is just interesting that you are here with us again, and we are extremely happy that you are here with us. What is it? That's
Hello, hello, hello. Once again, Mel Tonly. We are here, and we're gonna give you one exciting show today. You wouldn't believe it. You think last week was beautiful? Wait till you hear. I'm gonna straighten some things up. In this rough time of COVID-19, we have people. Anyway, let me get in the news straight up top. Get that out the way, and then we can really roll into it.
Yes, welcome again. Welcome once
Welcome.
again.
Once again, in the news, we got what is wrong with our MPs? I don't talk politics, but I'm talking in the news. What is wrong with our MPs? They're dropping like flies, eh? Now we got Desmond Bannister say he tests positive. Positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to do something with this cabinet or this House Assembly because the leaders runs the country, and if we have all the leaders
Falling ill.
quarantine, we in trouble, man. Moving right along. In news this week, there was a story in the news that I loved, that I thought was the greatest thing I heard for a while in the news. Because I always say something positive. Guess what happened? PMH have rats.
Oh, when did that come up?
it came up, and there was a story in the news where a gentleman said he had to stay outside and sleep outside, and the rats torment him at PMH because they put him on the gurney outside on the porch or something. It was a big story. So we got to be careful not. We are running rats now in PMH, and the rats are running from the COVID.
Everybody and everything is
Yeah.
running from COVID.
Yeah.
COVID kills.
COVID kills. And folks, in the news, we had a story where that more than enough people were questioning, is the prime minister positive or not?
Well,
In the news,
well,
the chief executive. Moving right along. Back at the prime minister, we had an excellent in the news that the people are now getting upset about what they call it, the something order. The prime minister's the what?
oh, that order.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a competent authority. And people now is having a problem with that. They said that one man in charge of the country, and they said that they were the cabinet. We just talking about in the news. It's there in the news. Moving right along, because we don't want to talk too much politics, because people say we're not a show of politics, so we gotta move right along.
Okay, but
Also
I mean,
in
we
the
don't
news,
discuss politics,
also-
but we could
yeah.
highlight what's happening.
What's in the news? Also, busy week in the news. Also in the news, there was a story. The Tribune run said that one of their employees at 100 Jams was stalked.
So,
It's a stalker out there. It was in the news that Erin Green and 100 Jams, she had a stalker. Now, it's in the news, but I think I need to make a comment on this because I have to do this. Fellas, listen to me, yeah? I love my Bahamian woman. Don't stalk them. That's a serious matter because if it was my child, I would stalk you. I find out who you was, all right? Moving right along. I ain't playing with that. Well, my daughter, I stalk him. All right. And moving right along, but last but least in the news, and this is where it got interesting. Ah, boy, them Catholics.
Catholic.
Them Catholics. Catholics. The Pope made a statement. He says that in the news, he said that we should allow same-sex union. The Pope said we should allow same-sex union. Think about that, folks. The Pope. And then we got the Bishop of the Bahamas in the news, make a statement, and he rumbled. He rumbled on. He says, "Oh well, if it this and it's that's not the Constitution, it's by the Bible, and then you run a chief." Let me tell you, Patrick Pender. Let me say it. If the Bible that you use, a King James Version, it says man and a woman. So you don't have to mumble that. You better tell your Pope he's going wrong, and you need to tell your parishioners that we ain't going that way. So that's in the news. Moving right along.
Yes, and then for our health tip for today.
Oh, my healthy.
Natural stuff.
Well, folks, this is called a grapefruit. Bahamian grown grapefruit. Now, when I was young, we used to peel it, and then it's eat it with the spoon. They get it. But some people peel it all off, and they hang the skin up to dry, and they use that for tea. And that tea helps, I never forget it, helps you with your bowel movement. Some of you, okay, I go to the bathroom, get an issue. That's what I'm talking about. And you know what else is good for the bowel movement? The hair of the corn. When you break the corn, the hair of the corn, the hair, you boil that, and you never stop loose. That is one of the most powerful
things. It's help to loosen the bowel?
No, that'll run you.
Oh, okay.
The hair from the corn, just the hair from the corn, that'll run you. You know how I know?
Okay.
My mother gave my father that one time because he was a naughty. And he ran right out of there. Moving right along. And
yes, and then of course the grapefruit. We're in COVID season, and I can't afford to not mention the grapefruit. Of all the citrus fruits,
the grapefruit
is said to have the highest level of vitamin C.
The highest vitamin C. All right.
Partake if you from Andros, where they are grown. Apico as well, right? But
yeah,
of course,
yeah.
There may not be so many there at this time.
Hurricane probably.
Right, but
this is
boosting your
vitamin C.
Still continuing with that.
I know we think orange, but most citrus, but this is the one that really do the damage.
And Tony promised that he would tell you about the fever grass.
The fever grass
this week.
Yeah.
And it's right on the outside.
Right on the outside. So I save it for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we save the fever grass. I know I promised the fever grass. Y'all want to know how, some of y'all just boil the fever grass, don't realize what things and how many things the fever grass can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you think it's fever grass for tea. Everybody does it for tea.
It is tea, but it has some good effects.
If you talk about that, don't give them a secret. Don't give them a secret. Mm-hmm. Can't let the secret out.
Not today.
But I have something that I have to share with you all. This part of the show. This week we had our birthday. We had a birthday, folks. And my co-host here, Melanie, she had her birthday. She got a new code name. I won't call that name.
Dare not.
So it's her birthday this week.
It was, yes. Rainy Wednesday.
Rainy Wednesday. So I didn't get a chance. This is my chance now to sing for a birthday. And I try to figure that I make original songs so I can sing for her. But
really?
I couldn't get it done. But so I can sing anyhow. And happy birthday. Happy birthday. Enjoy this day because another day you ain't sure this day coming. Sing it, Tony. Happy birthday.
Sound like a prelude to
yeah. The song coming.
To the music.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you.
Shall I put the
happy birthday. God bless you. Oi, happy birthday to you. Put it in there, Tony. Sing it. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoy it.
I did enjoy it.
You enjoyed that, boy, Jay.
And yes, so we move right into our topic for today. And by popular demand, we're back talking about relationships. And I think with all of the interactions that Tony has been having with persons
every day
as he journeyed the streets of Nassau, intimacy seemed to have been one of the areas that persons are very interested in. Now, I'm going to let Tony just
no.
right on in there.
I must. There is, folks, let me tell you, I have women in my life. I have women that I enact to. I have women who stop me on the street. I have women friends. I have all type. You wouldn't believe if I tell you. I could record some of the stories and let you hear. But I must set a record straight that I've been getting bombarded and what do you call it? Shovel or push around.
Really?
The women of the show and the women that listen to the show, they said that I am a male chauvinist. I beat up women all the time. Let me set the record straight. And straight as I don't play, I come straight. This show was based on me being bombarded by women. Not
you
men.
Being bombarded by
women.
Okay.
Now, and this is what this show was created on. And remember now, I have a mother who was the mother and the daddy.
Okay.
And so I saw her struggle in the house. I saw her struggle for many days. I had sisters that grew me up, older than me. Most of them been married like 30 and 40 years. They grew me up.
Okay.
And so what has happened, I've been around them and their friends, and I see how it was always a struggle. And they taught me, those folks, listen to them, and they all could tell you, my conversation was based on
their
experience, marriages, and women. Had nothing to do with men.
Okay.
So this show was geared to women, not men.
Okay.
So when I talk about majority of things for women, because I seen my sisters who married for 40 years and 38 years, I seen how they love their husband, how they treat their husband, and even they still married today.
Okay.
And that taught me something. So I fall in love with women.
Okay. And their
experiences, how they teach me how it should be. And so when I see women falling down, that is what drives me to talk about women.
Mm-hmm.
So I can help the women. Had nothing to do with bashing them. It was always based on help and helping them. So that's why I talk a lot about women, but my mother was a woman, so why ain't I gonna bash a woman? I ain't gonna never do that. Never. I ain't gonna love a woman and love them to death. Because I don't want nobody to bash my mother, because I love my mother to death. When I say to death, let me say to life. I love it life. Okay. And so I am gonna let you know that is my show. Me and Melanie show. We run this the way we see fit. And so I would like for you all to understand this is what our show is based on. I always talk about, when I talk about man, I say, man, you don't even talk about them because they waste of time. I always say that.
Yeah.
And so that is where I base the show on. Do not take it personal.
I think you probably need, though, to start addressing some male issues, balance the scale a bit.
If that is where you would like for us to go, I will go. But
the thing is, I mean, when I hear you speak, I'm always trying to get the male perspective, because I think the male needs some defending.
Yeah, and that's your job. And I love it when you stop me and say, hey, but let me say this, and then I can let you take the show. I seen where people and everybody, I know what the woman could do, how they can make a happy home. They the ones. Men, you ever notice men will lay on top of a sheet for 15 days. If you ain't a woman, ain't come and change it. I'm telling you. See, this is why I talk about what I talk. But the woman now had let me down.
Well, I'm going to say that all of the discussions that we've had, I personally did not interpret any of it as being bashing. You were speaking the reality of what happens in homes, and I'm sure, as you would have encountered in speaking with men in particular, that would have been their experience. It's not every woman, and in life what we must do is take those things that are relevant to us and then say, oh, I didn't know there were people out there who was actually conducting themselves in such a manner.
But I had conversation before we get into the intimate bit. I had conversation where that I discussed men. That men take a woman to bed and can't perform. I talk about this all. I talk about all these things. Can't perform.
Yeah, you do.
I talk with men. I bash men. I talk, but I get these comments that these folks, these women, they come tell me about. All I do is talk about with women and talk about women. You know why y'all feel that way?
Apologize and be quiet.
You want me to apologize?
Yeah, just tell them sorry.
I don't want to tell them something.
No.
Don't tell them nothing?
No. Just say, if I offended you, it was not personal. It was not intended to be personal towards anyone. It's a general observation, and you know those things that pertain to you, like the preacher would say, if the hat or the shoe fit, wear it. Yeah. And if it don't, you step on out of it and move on down the road. So you'll probably encounter it in somebody else's life.
I must apologize for what I say. Okay, tell me what I can do. I can apologize. Because she say, what do you say? Move on is forgiveness? How do you say?
If the cap fits you. But
no, but you said something earlier about forgiveness?
Yeah.
Okay, intimate. Forgiveness is intimate. So that's my topic. I can be intimate. Intimate. All right, so I can be intimate. Let me tell you, I can be intimate. I can ask for forgiveness. Do you all women think I bash? I am sorry if you think I am bash. I will try my best not to bash.
But our show is all about
woman.
The naked truth.
The naked truth.
So if it is a truth for you and not a truth for our viewers, then, see it as Tony's truth.
But the truth is the truth. Because you all know some of y'all ain't doing right. So moving right along. You can take it.
So intimacy. We're going to launch our discussion with the basic definition, which is basically creation by someone who said that intimacy. So you look, you come, and as you come, you see the external aspect of my characteristics. Tall, dark, handsome, nice, plump,
that's me.
Round.
Let me finish.
Right? But there's more to me than meets the eye, and that is where intimacy begins. Intimacy occurs in all sorts of relationships, whether it is an intimate relation between the mother and the child, the brother and the sister, the teacher, because it's relating on varied levels of intimacy. Because the first thing that happens is there has to be an attraction, a common interest, a joint effort in some sort towards a common end. Okay? But of course, in the context in which we are addressing it today, has to do with those relationships that are intended for the most closest of all levels of intimacy. And we're talking about marriage, or in some instances, those persons that are dating and looking for a lifetime partner. And so intimacy is, I think, almost like what we would call the home base of a relationship. It's where you begin and end,
Yeah.
right? And so with intimacy, there are some critical life skills that we must engage in. And I guess that would involve using all of our senses, right?
Excuse me.
The visual, the hearing, the speaking, right? I guess in some case there'll be some tasting and some smelling.
Yeah, it tastes Corona. No, it tastes when it's gone. It tastes good. Corona. So go on.
So, intimacy, I'll just use a few of the quotes that we found during our search. And here, if you can see it, it is a long list of requirements for real intimacy. And it says, it begins with self-awareness, individual health.
Individual health.
It begins with self-awareness.
So you have to feel good.
Well, you have to know yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's
You
the part.
have to know who you are,
Mhm.
what you're about, what your interests and desires are. Because when you now are getting ready to connect with someone, because intimacy is connection between two individuals. So as you prepare to connect with that individual, you must first know who you are. Oh boy, we just keep coming back to this.
Same.
Yes.
Yep. I
And
know you are.
yep. Of course, the next thing is commitment in common values.
I don't have no values. All I want is 75%.
And that 75% is what we call SEX, right?
All I want is
Sex,
75%. All that fool she's talking is all I want is 75%. Once I hit that and get that, that's all I want. All the other stuff ain't necessary.
Well, Tony, I in my search I came across something, two actual quotes that basically speaks to your 75%.
Okay.
It's one of them says that a man in a relationship trades intimacy to get sex.
Oh, yes. Yes.
On the other hand, a woman in a relationship trades sex to get intimacy.
Right. It's opposite. But you could have sex without intimacy. You could.
Yes.
But
it's
it
just
wouldn't
sex.
last.
It's just sex.
Yeah. You need intimacy
In order for
you to have good sex and for all you to have sex with meaning. Because some sex is just for fun.
Okay.
It could be the wall banging and all of that, and lifting up and the
Crazy
candlelight.
kinky.
Yeah. That's sex.
Okay.
That is good for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're, let me be careful because these women get, if your wife make you mad, I use that word, and you go out because you mad, you just want to get even. So you have sex because you mad. That's not intimacy.
And it's also crazy, if I may say so.
No, it's not crazy.
Why would you, because you have a disagreement with your partner, go out and have sex with someone else?
Because okay, 9 times out of 10, what happens? You have your little sweetie. So
Okay.
you, because your wife and you had this argument or this what misunderstanding, you go out for your intimacy. That's where you go.
That ain't intimacy. You said that's
No,
sex.
that's sex, but that's intimacy because now the way you feel.
Okay.
You see.
So you trading off
Right, there you go.
sex for the
Trading,
intimacy.
trading
Okay.
opposite. That's the opposite way.
Okay, so remember I told you there were 2 quotes,
Yeah.
right? The
One
second one says that sexual intimacy. So they're actually calling sex a form of intimacy, right? Is needed for men and a choice for women.
Right.
So that's the sexual intimacy.
That's the sexual
Now
intimacy.
there's emotional intimacy.
This is where that the folks want me to talk about.
Okay.
Intimate emotional.
Okay.
Now, in most cases, now I gotta be real. You know, in most cases, a man probably only can hold his heart on for so long.
Okay.
This real talk. So y'all can, all y'all who drink your little, you know, Pripsy, this is a real show.
Okay.
All right. So he had a little thing, and he only can hold that for a certain long time.
But if
so
there's, now you see, that's why intimacy is so important.
Right.
Because what does intimacy do for the sexual encounter?
It gets you built up,
and it should sustain you for as long as there is intimacy.
But most men who have issues and problems, they cannot stay that long. So what they have to do, they have to quickly get it over with, get it over and done with.
You want me to tell you something about that?
Really?
You want me to tell you something about
Go
that?
tell me what you want.
That's the problem with you all right now, the ones who can't hold it. It's because you have always conditioned yourself to slam bam, quick and
yeah.
Right? But if you were from the jump street of the relationship, doing this for not a quick personal gratification, but to become closer and intimate with your partner, it won't be. Half of the problem is in the mind.
No, the point is this: majority of men, don't even love her with a bit. No. So they don't want no intimacy.
So you better let me continue with this list then, because guess what?
They're coming to that, right?
The next thing on this list is unconditional love.
It's hot, folks. It's hot. You can see this
environment of safety, confidence, and belief in the other. Intimacy also requires something that men are not always ready to do. And you know what it is? Take off the mask. Take off the cloak. Stop being macho in your mind and be more emotionally engaging with your partner. Women need emotional intimacy. When you, as the man, give her that emotional intimacy, you would be surprised to know what they would call the hang-ups. You know, there's this belief that Bahamian women have too many hang-ups, and that's why Bahamian men go for the foreign women, especially those from our bigger islands in the
South. You know that? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But you gotta get rid of the selfishness. Take off the self-image and rushing because you don't want to let her down. Oh, why I got this? You will have it for as long as you are intimately engaging in an encounter with your partner. Now, you mentioned something that y'all need to get right, and that is the love factor.
Yeah, but and then get back to intimacy, because it's all intimacy. All this ties in.
All this ties in. Yes.
But I want to get in. I'm going to show you something. You know what really it is in the Bahamas? For most men, is not in love or are not emotionally in love. Like they're not. What they are. They love you. Because most women is not emotionally in love. Women too.
You think so?
Yeah, some women. See, because we do the money factor, the taking care factor. Hold on, you got all these factors. You got the factor that fake. Just say, yeah, you put the wigs on your head, fake, and your fake nails, and the fake this. So it's a fake too. They fake too. They fake orgasm. They fake. They fake every. It's part of faking. They really don't love you. They know they really don't love you.
But you say a lot of men don't love the woman.
Yeah, because fellas just won't get.
Yeah, that quick fix.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don't get fixed.
You
So,
know,
so all that intimacy, it ain't.
and
I can tell you I love you, but that's the fast it go. I love you. They expect you to catch that. You're supposed to catch that.
But you know what? Real love requires you to be aware of the fact that vulnerability is there for both male and female. Mm-hmm. So with the vulnerability, no comments. I looked. Just now.
It's got a blue this way. Yeah.
No,
So
it's this is what it says. It says letting down your defenses and sharing your emotions. Men have this macho thing, but we don't get emotional. But I've had conversations with female friends, right? And you know what they say? It's like you all are on a mission to conquer the woman. And once you conquer her and you have her in a comfortable place that you feel comfortable with, then you forget all the things that you used to do. But you remember in the beginning of the relationship, everything is hot and spicy,
because
but you don't want to continue to work on it.
No, because I tell you what, it is too much work. See
that?
For a man, it's too much work. Let me tell you, in a home, a woman works to keep her home, keep her man, whatever. That's
ladies,
right.
It's too much work.
But it's too much work. See, if I meet a woman today, excuse me, and I say I want to take you or I love you or whatever, I have to go through a whole process because she can play like she don't like me. First of all,
okay,
she can play like she don't like me,
but
I can have to break her down.
Right.
Then she can give me, like I say, this long drawn out
wait
period. But see,
because guess what? She's trying to know you.
No, but here's the point.
That's what intimacy requires.
Here's the point. If this is not good at the beginning, why did I wait? I will move on. Because that ain't working for me. So now you make
rush
me
to the finish line.
Yeah, because if it's not what I want, right? If not what I want, what I expected, why should I stay around? So you make me want to stay around. I don't want to stay around that long.
Tony, I'm sorry to tell you this.
This real world.
No.
This are men.
That what you just said, I think explains why so many relationships are failing in our country.
Because in the homes today, in marriages today, it's boring. It is, the intimacy is gone. Let me tell you why.
You know what? Father, forgive me, but I think the Pope probably need to proceed with same-sex marriage. Because guess what? The woman know what the woman wants, and the man know what the man wants. So y'all go together and let the woman go together.
No, but see, the Bible says something different. You can't do that.
What the Bible say?
The Bible says
you don't want to work though.
Yeah,
the Bible tell you to love your wife. Yeah, love the woman. And you're all saying it's too much work.
Yeah, but I can love this woman. But what this woman can carry me through for something at the end of the day, I don't even want.
But guess what? That is why.
So what you
focus on establishing.
You don't know this thing ain't no good. Would you put it on me?
Is it really no good? Or is it that you, because you see and listen, most
men today in marriages.
Lazy.
Yeah, they're lazy.
Lazy.
That's why I tell you lazy. We don't work.
Lazy.
Most men don't want to work.
And then you wonder why you always say Bahamian women cheat more.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You lazy. And just how you want something spicy, the woman wants something spicy too.
Yes. And what has happened, I believe, in the Bahamas. Boy, I can get licked for this. What I believe happened in the Bahamas, everybody become Christian. And
Well,
so
that is a barrier.
everybody now hide behind the cloth. Hold on, wait. Let me break it down. Let me break it down. And I don't want to tell the truth because it can make me look like the bad one.
Okay. So what is the truth?
The truth is that this relationship is not working for me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm dying in this relationship.
Right.
And I rather die for what people think of me.
Well, plenty people die. And you know what?
Plenty people dying.
You know what? If you stay in a relationship that is not satisfying your needs, and that's why the first thing on this list is to know yourself. You know, intimacy is also about honesty. It is about knowing that you are able to go to the person that you are with, right? You're able to let your hair down. You're able to tell them your most intimate the fears about, even if it's being able to function or perform in bed. And then it isn't all about sex.
Yeah.
Intimacy is not all about sex.
See, I had a conversation, right?
Uh-huh.
And the conversation is about relationship. And I ended up talking about sex. You know, sex. And the person remind, but sex is there. Sex ain't no big deal.
No.
But
it's not. It is important. It might be 75%. It is the pinnacle of intimacy.
Yeah.
It is what we desire. It's what we need. But after the sex, that's where the intimacy kicks in, and that is what.
Before the sex.
No.
After and before.
After and before, because guess what? After the sex, what do you have left if there is no intimacy? Intimacy involves the communication. Remember? Let's go back to this list.
Yeah,
right?
But
let me see. It requires deep understanding into the other person, into yourself. It requires being able to sit and talk, find out even before the sex, like you say, what are the things that you like? What are the things that make you happy? What are your interests in life? What are we laugh together, we sit, we talk, we just simply lay down, listen to music, we have common interests, we do things together.
Okay, now let's get into the real intimacy. We get the nitty-gritty intimacy. So, I'm gonna date a woman who I have to ask for sex.
Man,
hold on.
No.
Hold on.
That ain't intimacy.
No, hold on. Let me show you where I'm going.
Go ahead.
So, she's going to tell me, now don't worry, sex, don't worry about it. Because it can happen. So, I'm getting the intimacy. So now, what I need to do is check her mind. I must get into her head. This is where intimacy starts. I got to get in. Think about this, folks. I got to get into her head. And once I get into her head, I got to make her mind believe that I love her. And there's only her. And everything I do
is about her.
Is about her.
And she do the same thing for you.
But hold on now. Here I go to intimacy. But I know in my mind, she's not doing the same thing for me.
Well, where do you go from there?
Okay, let me tell you where to go from there. There's some certain things that where you go from here. When you find this happen, folks, I'm going to help you. This is what we're here for. I'm going to help you. And folks, what I can tell you now is real talk. That's why I brought it up. Where do we go from here is powerful. Because when you have a situation like that where you are push you to the corner. That's what we call it.
Okay.
And you feel that you're giving all, and all this man want to do is jump on top of you and go boom, 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 and finish. Bam, 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 bam. And you started to think about this, and it started to play on your mind. Why is this man only want to jump on me and jump off? The intimacy, so we're going to start having some conversation before we get to the bed.
Long before.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you know, intimacy can only take place where there is a common interest in the
common
other
interest.
person.
Because
It means you interested in me and all aspects of me, and I am interested in you and all aspects of you. You see, for a man, and this what men must understand, you want a beautiful life with your partner, your female partner.
the woman understand that too. Man,
Women are always giving themselves to men.
Really?
They are.
Okay.
They are the homemakers. They are the child bearers. They raise the children. They go out to work and all of these things, right? A man go out to work and he comes home, and this is where you know that there is intimacy, because we come home, we both had a hard day, but the intimacy is, if I'm home first, I get the pot started, male or female. I help find out where the children are as far as school, homework, and so forth is concerned. Men have done it, men can do it, and those who are interested will do it.
Yeah. But women, now, you know, they say bashing them, but I'm not bashing them. I'm just trying to pull, we having a conversation. I don't want them feeling. Okay. Stop worrying about that. Okay.
Yeah, stop that. Stop doing
Now,
that.
when we talk about relationship and we have this big breakdown, you know, the big argument.
Yeah, disagreement.
Disagreement.
But we should not allow it to go to a big breakdown.
Yeah, it's a big breakdown, and it throws the whole relationship off.
What the big breakdown all about?
The big breakdown could be all kind of stuff. Could be you seeing another man, and they find out.
Man, you're talking about the end product of a long range of things.
Yeah.
We're talking about how to prevent this breakdown. See, because the big breakdown is what prevents intimacy. It means that because there is no intimacy, and you annoyed with me and I annoyed with you, and I telling you care y'all and you telling me care mine, right? Where is the intimacy in that? How do we get, you know, and a lot of women, and I can attest to it in conversations where you talk about turning over, right? They say, when you cheapen sex in marriage, right? Just for sexual release, out of obligation, you basically saying to your spouse, you are not worth knowing. When we as a female come to you with a complaint about something that we're not satisfied with, you seek to make that correction. That's what a man who truly cares does.
Yeah, and there's folks, that's where you go there. I'm gonna give you some words, and I'm gonna give you some action that'll help you when you run into these problems. That's why we're discussing the problem, and I'm gonna give you some stuff. So when you leave from here, I give you 9 points, 9 whole 9, the way it should done. But go on, I'm gonna wait till you finish. But intimacy, see, people think most time intimacy means just simply touching, sex,
communication.
Yeah, but it's a communication.
It's doing the whole 9 yards,
and
everything.
It's a softer way. It's a soft. See, most men can't be soft because they got to be the man. They got to live that role. But today, I'm going to teach the men how to be soft, how to be intimate with their wives, who work hard, who takes care of us, who really loves us, but because so rough and so listen to what insensitive would be here on the street. You know, we can have a conversation at work, Man, that damn woman, you know, that kind of way, that kind of conversation. And so it breeds
And
a
both
turning
sexes,
off at home.
both
It could
sexes
be
are
both.
guilty
Yeah, both sexes.
because women in their female groups,
Mm-hmm.
they talk about who me,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't doing this, and child, I wouldn't let him do that, and the next, and so we take on board from the big mouth woman or the grandstander in the group
Man, yeah.
who have all the opinions, but when that same person who tells you who me, I wouldn't be caught dead, they're the ones who are home and they're happy home doing everything that they tell you they won't be caught there doing.
Oh, yeah. They probably is a puppy home.
They ain't gonna die because they live doing it.
They bow into all the wishes. But I'm going to give you, because our time to be short, so I'm going to give you, especially for the men and women, to help this intimate. And then I can throw them out to Melanie and I can make Melanie discuss them. And one of the things that we can ask, having an intimate relationship, and we run into a hard wall. One of the things we can ask, well, how could we resolve this?
Okay.
Me and you, how could we resolve this, Melanie? See, and the reason men, you have to be softer sometimes because the woman probably sitting there, love you to death. She just wants you to be intimate, more loving, caring, all right? And also, too, women, I'm talking to you, so both sides. Sometimes women, you're a little feisty, and you have to be, a little more intimate. That's what we call more intimate. And these are the things. Number 2, I am sorry. These words that will help you even when, it's good to put your point down and say, let's move on. Honey, I'm sorry. Now, you might have to give yourself up and give your point up, but sometimes it's for the better. And all this comes under intimacy,
But Tony, it isn't necessary to give your point up. Sometimes you may have to shut down a disagreement. And when the atmosphere is a little better, then you can revisit it in a different way, right? Because if it's important, never postpone resolving an important issue. Because until that is resolved in the mind of the individual.
No, but see, number three will solve that problem.
Okay, let's see what number 3 says.
I forgive you.
You could forgive me, but if I still have a question in my head.
But if I'm sorry, and then you say, I forgive you.
For a wrongdoing.
I forgive you. Because, this is part of intimacy. That means you being loving, caring, softer. Because now you want to make this work. So both of you are passing words that to resolve the problem, right? Words like, I love you. Like, once you these are words that and we must break them down, because I could say I love you, but just say it for words at that moment.
Yeah, like most people do.
Right. But
like many people do.
But if I say I love you and embrace you at the same time, and you see intimacy, brace you and kiss you and say I love you, it comes across better because it's a feeling with emotion.
But let me say this. You could do that and you could come and you could embrace and you could do all of that. But always know that your partner knows you. Right. And over a period of time, she can tell when it's a genuine apology. But an apology will still not be accepted if an understanding is not reached.
But you could say to me now, folks, I'm helping you here. You could say to me now, you could say, I'm talking to you, I say, forgive me, like we say.
Right.
And you could say back to me, a little while by being quiet, you could hear my voice. And you could hear me with a different type of,
remorse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can say, I feel you.
Okay.
That's another word of intimacy. I feel.
But
See,
you must also give an opportunity though for
because see, it don't happen overnight.
it depends on the seriousness of the nature.
And if it becomes too much for you, we talk about intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And if it comes too much for you, at this point, you could say, could we do this tomorrow?
Okay.
Because it may become so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes so, at this moment, I still feeling this.
Right.
You went out and fool around on me. So right at this moment, my intimacy and my emotion, I'm not going to accept you because I feeling you. And can we do this tomorrow?
But another thing that is important is not to delay it for too long.
Uh-huh.
Because at the end of the day, you know, y'all have your short attention span. Right?
But for me...
And so the woman, because we do have a tendency to hold in things and let it linger for days and never punish your partner by withholding sex.
But having that, and if that doesn't work, you can go on. You know, let's put this behind us. Honey, you use the word honey. Intimacy, you gotta get and hold a hand.
Terms of endearment.
Yeah, terms of that. Honey, let's put this behind us. You know I trust you. You know I love you, but I have done this so long to you, and this really hurts you. But let's put this behind us.
You know, and you keep going to the major things, but there are some little minor things.
Yeah, but we get to the minor thing. And then if you don't see what I'm saying, right? You could be softer, and I say, I can assure you. Number 9, I can assure you.
Reassure, yeah.
Reassure you. We could do this. We could do this.
Okay.
Because there's nothing in the world I will love having more than you.
Okay.
And I give you 9 pointers there, guys. 9. Hold on. I want to get it in before our time go. I give you 9 pointers. Intimacy for some people, like I say, is sexual. We gotta get to the bed. So, for me to deal with you intimacy, the ones that won't go to the bed quickly, like Melly was talking earlier, it has to start from the door. I always talk about this. It starts from the minute I pull up. How was your day? How could I help in the kitchen? How could I help you? Could I go to the store for you for anything? You need anything? All this is intimacy. So when that time comes, there won't be this animosity that I work hard all day. I do this man, and this man now he took me. I then put my curls in here, and I do. Listen, I can say this again, and Melanie all jump on me. There's too much vehemence. A lot of vehement women single today. Women over 50. They by themselves. Majority of them by themselves. And
why?
Let me tell you why. They done been married before.
They've been married, but why are they single?
Let me tell you why they're single. They rather be single because so much jokers.
Okay.
And the jokers today don't want to work hard. And some of these women are well-off women. They have their home. They have their home. They have their decent job. They own a little business. But they rather, boy, I get myself in trouble. They rather date men who come and go, who don't want to be all into this, who don't want to get married and all into that. And those guys, for them, fill their need. They said, why should I take care of this joker in the house? And all he want to do is come home at night, sleep, jump on me, go to bed, go back to work. So what's in it for me?
So what you're saying is that they're load sharing.
Yes.
So you come, you satisfy
And
or
go.
fill the void that
And go.
I have at the point that I need it to be
Right.
filled, and then you go back to who? Another woman?
Right. Go back to your wife.
Oh.
So there's no intimacy. That's why I told you over and over that these women who they don't really want intimacy. They may want, yeah, you come and you check.
Tony, let me
Go ahead.
take you.
Take me home.
This
real talk.
I have a problem with
I know
that.
you have a problem with that.
Let me tell you why I have a problem
But
with
that's
it.
the truth.
The problem is our culture.
Oh, it's the culture.
The
Okay.
problem is our culture. When you were a young person
Mm-hmm.
and you thought to take a wife,
Right.
what was your mindset at that time? See, a lot of people are
My mindset at that time.
toting baggage of brokenness,
Yeah.
past
But my
relationships.
mindset at that time
hurt
might be,
from past.
I won't be married because everybody was getting married.
But that's a bad reason.
Yeah, but that's what most people do.
So,
It's about a show.
Let me tell you my stance. A healthy relationship. Mm-hmm. A healthy relationship does not require you to sacrifice anything as it relates to your friends, your dreams, or your dignity, right? A healthy relationship is where two independent people make a deal that they will help the other in the relationship to be the best version of themselves. Mm-hmm. When you are in a relationship where someone loves you, and in loving you, they are building you up, that is where you will experience the highest level of intimacy, because now you feel loved, appreciated, cared for, and all of that. Too many people, that description that you gave of the Bahamian successful woman, mm-hmm. right? Women have adopted that, and you see how that is contrary to our Christian faith, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's contrary, because after so many hurts, after the absence of having someone in your life who enables you, empowers you to be the best version of yourself. Many women try to do that with men. They do it, but men fall short. Yeah, but you see, there's all sorts of let's not forget. See, in our like you say, it's a culture. It's too much negativity. It's a lot of negativity. Too much negativity. But too much baggage. There's a lot of hate going on. And we have to learn how to forgive. You mentioned it as one of your points. I said learn forgiveness. But most people don't want that time. They don't want to be intimate because they hurt their husband leaving. They're hurting now. So what they want to do, they don't want to think about that. All they want to do is meet this person who fulfill their financial needs. Fantasy. Who fulfill their financial needs. And they go on with this story. And most men can vouch for this. They go on to this story, but you're going to jump on top of me. But I ain't going to let you jump on top of me because you ain't bringing no money home and you ain't paying the bill. See, they believe that. That's our culture. Yeah. That's the negativity, the influence that's out there. You're supposed to love me. And because you love me, I supposed to help you. If you my wife, I supposed to take care of you. See, it's totally different. But isn't okay? Totally so different. If you're saying if the female is your wife, you have a responsibility to take care of her. Right. But if she's not your wife, you don't have no responsibility. I have a responsibility to help her. It's about totally different. See, don't get it mixed up. Help her. Because she is not my wife. When you become my wife, I'm responsible for you. I responsible for when I say responsible, I'm talking about every aspect of marriage. Financially, physically, mentally, socially, the whole aspect. Mm-hmm. When I
dating you, it's like a trial. I can't give you everything
No.
until I marry you. Because if I give you everything, just like a woman, if you give a man everything when he's dating you, what you can give him? What's gonna be the spirit of what now you give him?
But remember now, the dating period is a time of getting to
To know me, right?
Remember, we talk about love being friendship on fire.
Friendship on fire.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And a misconception that I find is a lot of people say, oh, he's my friend. So you marry your enemy?
Yeah.
Who do you marry?
Yeah. But see, this is why I talked earlier about Bahamian people not being truthful. Remember I talked about how they lie a lot. Let me tell you one of the biggest lies. One of the biggest lies. And go back to women again. Especially in this sex thing. They cover up. They know the man ain't measuring up. But listen, they only taking the man money. They make the man feel they lying. They faking. Hold on.
So when they do that,
and
then...
hold on. When I say they faking, they faking. And when they fake, most men are so gullible. They spend all their money. See, man are so gullible.
Yes, you all are.
Yeah, you're gullible. You get swing on a wing. You're going.
You know what? Yeah, I don't know. They probably need to introduce how to be a man in the education curriculum.
And a woman, this is a joke of it. It's real. A woman will tell you getting swing. They say, "Child, you let that man swing in." A woman tell a man, "That woman only swinging you." Prime example. You go to bed with a woman and you having fun. And the woman will get up and she go wash this, go, and she do what she can do. You lying in the bed snoring. She up waking, go and do that, right? But if that woman was intimate with you, she can be and stay there and hug you and hold you. See signs these are signs that men should be looking for. I'm not saying that all is the same.
I guess if
but you only come. I really want to get this on my mind, and then I got you off the whole thing. You only come to bed with me
out of obligation.
When it's time, obligation, because you don't want the bills get stopped paying, and you don't want. And most of y'all women, when I say y'all women, most of the women today have sweetheart. They have another man. They might have a man they sleep with. They have a man to fill them.
Definitely the description that you provided with the professional woman who owns everything and she doesn't want a permanent partner. It means then she's open to date as many men.
But why should a professional woman who makes more than me? Think about this. Just think about it. Who makes more than me? Feed me, clean me, this and that. What's she getting out of it?
Satisfaction. See, let me tell you something. See,
that's a woman thing.
Hearing you miss the intimate, the crux of a relationship.
She don't have a relationship. Her focus is trying to be
the
CEO of the business. That's where her focus is. And nothing.
Well, that ain't every woman.
No, that's not every woman. But the majority of women today.
The professional woman.
Majority of women today. Well, most, if they're not trying to build their career, they see most of the Bahamian men as losers.
Is that because the Bahamian men conduct themselves as losers? No,
because the Bahamian men checked out.
They check up and checking out the foreign women. Most
Bahamian men check out because Bahamian men, and their thinking is they see the woman only want money, so they just throw the money, whatever. There's no intimate.
So that is what. Let me see, because I've heard it and I've been trying to get this understanding. When it is said by Bahamian men that Bahamian women don't satisfy.
No, they can't satisfy. Majority of them, the whole culture of the Bahamas is based now on money. And the whole
So
culture,
let
the
me.
whole culture of love is thingsy. The little children will tell you, the girls will tell you,
So
it's the thingsy Bahamas. So intimate, go back in, intimate to the bottom of the bowl.
intimacy is
Yeah,
is,
the woman
is,
say,
is
why
not a
would you,
priority.
why I let you hold my hand if you ain't give me nothing?
That sounds like a serious
It's,
cloud of gloom.
but it started from home, where your mother tells you, listen to these words. Your mother tells her daughter, child, don't bring no break man here.
So what the mother of
The pastor say, prosperity, prosperity, prosperity.
so what the mother of the 50s, 60s, and I'd go as far as the 70s were teaching their children, their girl children in particular, they're no longer teaching them it.
No. You supposed to teach your daughter to love unconditionally. When you marry your husband, you marry him to love him, to cherish him. You do the same.
Because I just was going to say, I think also
he does
the
the
absence of fathers in the home
now you're hitting the
to
button.
role play,
But most
so
time,
that the mother demonstrates, but not only that, the father is able to teach his daughter. A lot of fathers have relationships with their daughters, but their daughters never really grew up in the home
because
with him.
we spoil them. We spoil our
No,
daughters.
y'all were out with somebody else whilst the mother was raising her.
Yeah, but the problem is men.
And not only that, guess what? When daddy come bearing gifts. When the girl needs something, she call daddy and daddy comes and bring it. So the man who she's with, she expects the same of him. So the father play a role in the way that women are today too.
Most times, fathers are not there because these same 9 pointers I give you, forgiveness. We could talk about it tomorrow. Remember all this.
But
See,
man,
because
Tony,
women,
because
women, and this is true. Man do a bunch of food,
exactly.
but women
forgive.
do not forgive. Most women don't.
Stop it.
Most women don't forgive.
Man, let me tell you something.
Most women don't forget. Most women don't. You're an argument.
How many men? And I know you know of plenty Bahamian men
who
left their wives with 5+ children and went out there and played the field with Sarah, even move in with Sarah and her 3 or 4, right? And took care of Sarah. And then when he gets sick, Sarah kicked him out and he had to go back to his wife.
A lot of them, plenty of them that happen too.
The
majority of them, when they get old especially. But remember this. Back in the day, this is why when I said this, so I started this show and they said bash woman. This is what back in the day, people like my mother, they didn't go out looking for man.
No.
They stayed home.
And whatever the man did,
and that's why I say the woman of the day let me down. Because
no, you know the women of the day say, I see my mother going through this, that, and it ain't gonna be me.
Yes.
They swear, just like our parents have failed to raise their children the way that their parents raised them, women are refusing to live with their partners the way that their mother lived with their husbands.
Yeah, but see, but I believe in this. You leave me today, and you go to somebody tomorrow. You most likely can get the same thing because most men don't.
Because it's a cultural.
Yeah,
it's most a cultural.
Most men are not most men are
They're deficient. No, Lord, don't let me say all men are deficient.
Yeah, no.
All Bahamian men, if a woman don't put her foot down and be firm, loving and firm, because you get firm and you'll go. You get too loving, but you gotta have that balance for y'all, because y'all are beasts.
Yeah, because
gotta have a balance.
But the Lord
of love and toughness. Love and toughness.
But the Lord built us as hunters.
The Lord built y'all as to say.
Yeah, when he created his mother. See,
that's why our next topic need to be on what you said last week, something about men and multiple women.
Yeah.
Because trust me.
But in the Bible it said, see, you gotta understand. The Bible, this was happening from the Bible days.
Of course it was.
Right. So what make you think me and you could change it?
Well, the pastor stand in the pulpit and try to change it. The pastor say one man to one woman.
Because he lied. Some of them lying.
They
Not
preached
all,
that
but
when
he lied.
God made Adam, he only made Eve. And then you showed me that Lilith was around. I didn't even know Lilith. Because the pastor never started with the... And
No,
I
they
never
never preach
see
about
it
Lilith.
there.
See,
I see it, but when I look it up, it says something about some mystical and some... But of course, you know, we have to say that as Bahamians and Lord, we live and die. It's like we'd be... If whatever we are taught, right or wrong, it becomes gospel for us.
yeah.
And so...
But ain't a lot of people been taught the way you've been taught. Most of these girls today, the young, we're not talking about women at 50.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the young women today, most of them got two men. If they ain't got two men,
it's the value system that they see.
They got somebody on the phone they can call. See,
we talk about value system here too, you know, in intimacy, the value system.
If you throw a woman out today,
Uh-huh.
like they say, if you ain't want a guy, you throw it outside.
Mm-hmm.
She get picked up tomorrow. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
And because women are special in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find a good woman, you find,
like the Bible said, when a man find a woman, when a man find a wife, he find a good thing.
a good thing.
But let me say this.
But not all wives good now. Hold on.
No, you know why? You know why?
Don't blame us for everything.
Yes, it's y'all.
No.
Y'all look at this.
No.
Y'all look at this. Y'all don't look at this.
Listen.
Y'all look at this.
There's more.
And this.
There's more schemers in the women now today than men. Back there, you can say that women has taken over. You know why women taking over?
Because you know what they say.
Why?
Remember they say, why buy the cow when you get the milk free?
Yeah.
And now the lady saying, why buy the sausage? Why buy the pig when you can get the little sausage for free?
But intimate.
Women actually has put themselves on par with men.
That's why I talk about women. Because they let me down that I thought that they would have stick with this standard.
That's because of what their mothers went through. Women are saying, I'm not going through what my mother went through. I'm not putting up with it. I make my own money. I do this. And he could scheme. I could scheme. But they say, man scheme, woman scheme.
6 or 7.
6 and a half dozen.
But let's get back to the intimacy.
Intimacy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Intimacy has to be something that
both parties.
Both parties. And it must happen in marriage. See, if you don't have intimacy in marriage, you don't have a marriage.
Exactly.
And that's how you know if your husband loves you or your wife loves you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ask, see, here's the problem.
It's a two-way, mutual agreement.
But if you ask, if you have to ask for sex, if you have to ask for kiss, if you have to ask for these things, that's where you know something is wrong.
Princess on this.
Princess, I love you too, Princess. I see you. That's my niece, yeah. That's my loving niece in Freeport.
Okay.
And love has to be something before you even get into it. It has to be thought through. It has to be something that you understand what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people get into love.
They get into
don't
sex.
Even know what
they get into sex.
You don't even know what you're getting into.
Without even knowing the individual.
Yeah, you don't even know.
That's why
this dude you see look good. You decide that you require him. You love him, and you don't even know this dude could be faking for 5 years, faking straight through. One day, now, Princess, I'm glad you hit me up, Princess. Now that's what you call a marriage.
Okay.
Now, Princess, I believe she got a gem as a husband.
Okay.
And I can talk about that because that's my niece.
Okay.
Princess have a husband that cook,
mm-hmm.
I don't think this person's deserving. I mean, hold on now, Princess. I just talking, but I just talking here because she don't have to cook. She don't do nothing. This guy, where she go? That's what you call a marriage. That's intimate because he's
But
Mhm.
if we can spend
Go
2
ahead.
seconds
We started.
and look at the process.
Process. You want to go to the process.
In terms of just the relationship between, because we have a case study now,
Yeah, we
a
talking about
princess
princess
and
okay.
a husband,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it, you're talking about the communication, you're talking about the sharing, you're talking about the enjoyment of the other, you're talking about giving without sparing, you're talking about trusting
Mm-hmm.
without wavering, right? You're talking about all these different things.
Yeah.
You say he serves her.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Right?
You see what I'm talking about?
Okay. Right? And then too. Right?
So now hold on. So you got
forgiveness.
yeah, you forgive me.
Right?
But now we got a good example of a good man. See, hold on. We got a good example of a good man. See what I tell you? There is woman in trouble. This is a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
And she says he serves her.
Right.
Listen to the words. He serves me.
Right.
So what that tells you? That tells me
that there is patience.
Right.
There is love. There's genuine love.
And there's plenty communication, right?
Right. There is passion.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There is enjoyment.
There you go.
Okay. Now, he clearly speaks and she listens. Yeah. She speaks and he listens.
Give me the name, princess. Give me
his name. Two-way street. But many persons in our society, which is so negative, right? We specialize in the relationship killers, right? We have expectations without expressing what they are. We avoid responsibility. We avoid communication. How many men go to the bar and stay away from the home because the wife will ask of him to do something and he don't want to do it? So before he comes home and help, he avoids her. He stays out.
Yeah, but when he come home, he could be drunk. That's intimate too. Because the wife might love him being drunk. That's okay. She might have. Everybody have their own way to have their kinky and this, that. So
Maestro.
Hey, Maestro. Uncle Tony. Yeah. Right? So you have this way where you can have this way where the smell of the rum might turn on. Hold on, it's true. It is true because hold on.
Turn her on when she done work hard and you always say they turn up and say, hurry up, do what you have to do.
Stop.
That ain't for every person.
But she might drink. She might be one who drinks too at home. Yeah, but then he should stay home and drink with her. No, but he cannot get that revelation that he get. Hold on. Like this real talk. See, everybody has the listen to me. Listen to me. You have sex. You might like it back on. Some people like it front on. Some people like side.
Yeah, that's why we have everybody this basket.
So everybody has their different little way. A little,
right. So, but you're talking about a blanket general habit that the majority of men take in this. You pass through the streets of Nassau. Thank God COVID and lockdown is in operation now. But prior to COVID, many homes had the mother home with the children and the man out either to their sweetheart or to the bar. So let me ask you a question. You don't think the men them still out? So who they intimate with? The people they hanging out there with. How could the woman develop intimacy with him when he is not there? But many men are not prepared for marriage. A lot of men go into marriage only for the sex. A lot of women go into the marriage because the church says it's better to marry than to burn. Yes. They have no idea on who they marry. And they don't. And so where the intimacy and the church will pay for that one day. Because the church, not the church, the people who say it, the people in the church, the people in the church. Because you're gonna tell me that these two young people come to church and the first thing you will tell them, well, come let me marry y'all because we know y'all can do sex. That's the only thing in the world. So the lacking and they only do that because they live for people, the parents. So again, our system, our communities, our families are failing us, and we are plunging into marriages. We don't have sex and we don't know each other. So where the intimacy supposed to fit into that?
The intimacy. When I look,
it's about enhancing the individual. Now, if the sex good, I can stay around. And then what happened? Most times, the first time these girls have sex, they end up with a baby, and the man gone.
Yeah, but when Maestro look at Princess, first of all,
Princess must have been a virtuous and well-raised young woman.
When he look
and her husband came from a similar background.
See, when he look at Princess, his eyes become blurry. He sees something different. He see this fine specimen of woman. And so when he saw that, he had no choice. Right, he had no choice. So if him and his buddy was all together, he said, "Hey, buddy, well, who that is? You gotta get me to talk to her." You know, so intimacy starts with also the eye contact, the words that we say with our mouth.
Yes.
And the words will probably, and I know Princess Libby, that's my niece. I know Libby. Her mouth a little stiff, so she probably will say something like that. Well, who you is? I know how she goes. Okay. She a little stiff. So I could tell you exactly what she do. And so when she did that, that must stimulate him to stop say, boy, that can't scare me. I talking to you. You know, communication, back and forth.
So you have to be brave. You have to dare.
You gotta dare.
Want.
You gotta want.
See, and a lot of people cop out.
And you gotta fight for what you believe
in.
Okay.
Exactly. But you know what? I'm bashing women, okay? But remember, there's something you said about a woman really can make a man.
Yes, I said woman make a woman make a happy home.
A woman makes a good relationship too. Like you say, Princess, ask them who we talking to. Women must uphold their standards. You gotta know who you are. You have to know what it is that you want. She's just laughing.
Yeah. And so
you have to know what you want.
Yeah.
And you demand it of the man.
Yeah. But see,
and if he loves you, he will do it. And if he don't love you, and that's why you talk about coming back to one of our previous, come on. Coming back to one of our previous shows, right? And that is why more men go to the bar. Not because the woman is bad. The woman is good. And he don't want to be good. He want to be lazy and want to come and lay on the couch.
So you won't come with this big drawers on and expect me to be what? Intimate and romantic?
Yes.
Listen, hold on. Slow down.
We already say when you share the load, a woman.
Hold on. It ain't intimate. You can't be hold on. You can't be intimate, but you're careless and you come to bed with big drawers on. Furthermore, hold on. And then
you see where you headed back.
No.
Let's get back. Let's get back to the relational side, not what you wear.
I get this. So hold on. So
because
you want me now be intimate. That's why I go to the bar.
No, but let me tell you
because
something.
Now I'm going to the bar and I can find this G-string, and I telling you.
Tell you something.
Well, tell me it.
Tell you something like that. Like you say, it starts at the door. So when you come home at the door, not only that, Valentine, birthday, anniversary. Just an ordinary day out of the blue. You buy the G-string and bring it home for
Why? I have to buy it. You should know what I want. You should know what I want.
No, we said that it is a commitment to you making her the best her. She making you the best you.
I give her the $20 to go buy the G-string.
It is sexier
and I give her another $20. Another $20 to get a nail fit.
It is sexier when you bring it home. It's sexier when you bring it home. It make her feel special.
It makes us feel special. But I don't think I should then go and get nobody. You go and get the G-string that you know I like. Do something, surprise me. Don't let me have to tell you.
And so let me ask you something then. What do you do to appeal as the man? What do you do to sexually appeal the woman?
What I do sexually?
Yeah.
I watch this.
This one-way street.
No, this is not one-way street. Let me tell you what I do. I go to the gym, get ready, put my muscles puffing.
The women out there on the streets.
Hold on. I
for your
go,
wife.
hold on. I go home
You help wash
like the
dishes,
maestro.
and you
Hold on.
cook the
I
food.
go home like the maestro,
Mhm.
and I cook salmon and souffle and souffle
Okay.
and what the other thing name?
Okay.
The fish name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. The
And so,
sushi and the
yeah. And so,
the caviar and
and
the
then
wine and everything, and you lay it
and
out.
then watch now. Then I fix the roof, clean the car, do. That's
Okay.
So I'm doing my part.
All right.
All right.
So that's a partnership.
Yeah. And so
That's enhancing each other. But that's creating that.
But
atmosphere.
a woman sometimes love the intimacy comes in where they get into because they love to see a man working, just working. See, just working. You just working around the house
And taking care and making you are home, and this is your territory, and you're creating this for your woman, your queen, your princess, and your little children.
Yeah, and when you're in the kitchen, and let me tell you nothing. What man like some men get off on this. When a woman in the kitchen, and you see a woman cooking, and sweating, man get off on that. That's where the intimacy start. They want to go in the kitchen, and the minute you touch the woman, why cooking? You can't see I cooking. But watch this now. Talking about princess, we talk about the princess. Hold on. Talking about my boy there. He goes in the kitchen, he cook. Princess come and hug him. You know what he does? He cooking and kissing at the same time. He ain't grumbling. He loves that.
So
the woman
that is evidence of love between two individuals.
Yeah.
You see, intimacy requires love. If you don't love the individual, you're not going to do these things with the individual, right? And so, yes, shotgun weddings out the window. When you decide that you're going to marry, and another thing too, you say a lot of men are in these marriages and they're not happy. Then get out.
No, it ain't easy as that.
What you mean it ain't easy?
It's easier to keep her. It's easier to keep her. You can imagine.
Oh, so it's easier to keep her and keep a sweetheart too.
Well, if you got to keep a sweetheart to keep your life going, it's wrong. But that's what they do. I'm not saying do it. I'm not saying that's
Next
what they do.
episode, easier to keep her. We have run out of our time for today. Thank you so much for joining us. And as you can see,
a shout out to Princess Maestro. Shout out to Anthony's, and a shout out to all those folks. Well, shout out to the person of it. Shirley, you give me the hard time. A shout out to oh Lord, I can remember these names, but I can't remember it all. But if I forget your name, I'm sorry. I'm so glad to hear from you, Princess. I love you. You know I always do. That's my niece.
Be sure to join us again next week. We will continue with relationship, and I think we're going to move right into this male role in the relationship.
And what's that is?
Clearly, Tony and the man of the Bahamas need help.
Oh, we switching it now. We under the tree. She's trying to switch it.
Yeah, you know, women give their best. Okay, there are elements of women out there who cheat on their man. Let's find out why people cheat. Why people cheat.
So the next topic, and don't forget, Melody had a good birthday this week, and I want to make sure she got a code name now, so I'll make sure I wouldn't call that name because that's a code name. So I will let you know how you celebrate your big party.
I'm not having no party. COVID party. I don't do party.
She had a party on Wednesday. She now she got a stripe on the shoulder. She was a corporal, now she's a sergeant. So
5-star general.
Sergeant.
5-star general.
We here under the tree. We love all y'all. We know we can hear from y'all next week.
Yes, we're going to be focusing on men.
Yeah. Why do men cheat?
Yes, why men cheat?
Because you know
why people cheat?
People cheat because they could cheat. Not as well.
No, they lack commitment and a number of other things. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend.
Next week.
Remember to
Treat
stay safe. Yes, we will start
We're changing
earlier.
our time to 3:30.
And hopefully it won't rain and we will be under
Out
the
three.
tree again.
Early.
Earlier,
3:30.
so the bugs won't have us slapping ourselves whilst we're talking with you.
Tony,
Have a lovely weekend.
Mel, under the tree.